Hello, we are Grimy Dog. Let's start off with Meet the Team. My name is Jonathan Rios and I play the CEO.
My name is Untitled Chapter and I play the CFO.
And my name is Steven Jose, I'm the CMO.
Our mission is to create a product where it can impact people's day-to-day life by bringing ease to the hassle that comes with cleaning a dog. Our customer segments will be dog owners and dog groomers. The reason why we chose dog groomers is that their job is involving cleaning dogs.
So the problem we found is that the cleaning dogs itself is pretty difficult because you have to chase after the dog itself, and some people don't have the time enough to actually chase after the dog. So, and cleaning dogs, like, they shake and throw water around and make a mess. And our machine is compact, safe, and secure for the dogs to go inside and thoroughly clean, safe and sound.
Our competition will be Vivor and Evolution Dog Wash. As you can see, they are both high priced, both hands-on. One is built of a still built product, the other one is a placement built product.
So you may ask yourself, why are we different from these two other companies? Well, that's simple. These two other companies are places where you have to personally go drive into a park or a specific public location and pay a certain amount of money for a specific amount of time to clean your dog manually. The only thing they give you is equipment to clean it. Well, our machine is opposite. It's home and it's semi-automatic.
And for visuals. This is the opening area. That hole will be the place where the dog's collar can be attached to. They'll keep them in place and keep their head out the machine so they don't get water and soap in their eyes and ears. This is the side view. There's a ramp entrance to help them get in there more carefully, a raised floor so that water cannot drain out quickly. And in here will be the main machine where once you put water into the device through the hose, it will start moving pipes back and forth with nozzles on the end to help clean your dog, and it has controllable pressure from that area in the back. That will be the place where you pour in soap and attach the water hose to. That will be the place where you can adjust the nozzle to add soap if you want to, or adjust the water pressure to make sure your dog's getting the right it needs.
For our ad campaign, for our MVP, here would be a video. We are excited to announce our first ever semi-automatic dog washer. And here will be a QR code where the customers could scan, or they could just type in the Bitly link, which will lead to the landing page. Here is a landing page which would have images of the 3D model and a description of how the product works and the list of benefits. From the bottom, you would see "Time to Shine" will be our call to action, where customers can go to the Cognito form. Here will be the Cognito form where they put their name, address, phone number, and email. Phone number and email are optional for the customers, but we would like the email to be filled. That way we know where we're getting the attention from. And from pre-order, the customers have a chance to choose what size they want, like small, medium, and large. From there, they would see, with the placement product, where they would see what they have chosen and how much it would cost, and if they're satisfied, they would press submit. This will be our definition of success, because it would mean that the customers are interested in our product, and if we get more than 40 pre-orders in a month, that will be our success, our define of success. Here will be a timeline of It will be developing ideas and market share an ad campaign that will be launched on May 9th with a $600, and the last will be building the product.
Here we have our TAM, SAM, and market share. Our total addressable market, which is the entirety of the U.S., consists, if we were to reach 41 million dog owners, we would have an estimated revenue of $12 billion. For our serviceable addressable market, which is the entirety of California, if we were to reach the 2.6 million dog owners, we would have an estimated revenue of $784 million. But our market share through our ads and such, if we were to reach 49 people, 49 dog owners, we would have an estimated revenue of $14,000. Our projected revenues. For our projected revenues, for the first year, we'll have an estimated revenue of $14,000. For the second year, $15,000. And for the third year, $16,000. For our cost of goods, it will cost $154.73 to actually make the medium-sized product. Some of the materials included would be polycarbonate, piping, and hinges. We chose polycarbonate because it can last years in direct sunlight to help prevent the product from breaking down and have a higher lifetime. For our startup and SG&A, our SG&A will run us around $1,700 for administrative and legal. And for our startup, it will cost us around $2,000 for workshop tools. Our selling cost, for the smalls, we want to sell them for $199. For the mediums, we want to sell them for $299. And for the large, we want to sell them for $399.
And thank you.
Okay, good job. You guys answered a lot of the things that you needed to point out in your presentation. I like that you differentiated between your like kind of corporation name and then this product, which to me tells me that you want to come up with more products later in the future, right? Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Yeah, because at first I was like, wait, is it Bark Washer or Grimy Dog? And then when I saw your thing up there, I was like, oh, okay, makes sense. So a little feedback. In the beginning, you said, I play the CEO. You don't want to say that. You are the CEO, okay? This is real. This is your business. This is not a game. You are the CEO, okay?
Yes.
And then I would really like to see you guys start your pitch with a story of some sort, or a data point, or a pain point, something that's going to bring in the person that's watching or your customer to really pull us into, oh, why do I care about this? Why do I want to know, right? What problem are you solving with your business before you even go into the specifics of what it is that you're providing? Let's see. So I have a question about pre-orders. I feel like it's too soon for you guys to do pre-orders. So can you walk me through that a little bit? Like why you're deciding to do pre-orders now?
The reason why we're doing the pre-orders is basically a smoke test where we can test the customers if they are interested in our product, and that's basically it. And we'd like to pre-order.
Okay. I just feel like it's asking a lot of someone to pay that kind of money for something that doesn't even exist yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, let me step in on that.
Yeah.
So in class, we're having them all, they're creating a smoke test, meaning it's not an actual sale. When they actually go through the process, it'll thank them for their order. We're not ready yet, we're still in development, and then we'll contact you once we're ready to go live. So they're not actually trying to make sales.
So that MVP that they're doing, no one's actually putting in their credit card information to give them money?
No, it's gonna total it, it'll look like they're buying, but when you go to the next step, like to take a credit card, it won't do that. It'll say thank you.
I was going to say something.
So they're not actually collecting actual revenue.
Thank you, but this isn't ready.
Right. It's just a check for interest. It's to check if they're interested. If they're really interested, they'll go all the way, but we'll let them know we're not ready to collect money.
That was going to be my suggestion too, but it sounds like you guys already have that
That
covered,
makes
so that's
sense.
perfect.
So I do want to put that out there.
I know there was like some sort of like funding website. It's probably still out there. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Where like people say their ideas and then you put in like a portion.
Kickstarters and those kind of.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Yeah, that one. That one sounded familiar. I was like,
Indiegogo.
I don't know. Okay, thank you for clarification. In your market share, if you can go back to that slide. So, right there. So where did you come up with the 49 dog owners?
That 49 dog owners comes from our turnover rate for how the ads will be. It's the turnover rate from the ads.
So
Our ads were to hit the entirety of California because we are starting out with our ads.
So is that your conversion rate? Is that what you're trying to say? Like from the people who click, this certain percentage of them are actually going to fill out the form.
That is our conversion rate.
Got it. Okay. That's where my confusion lies. And then one more, there's a selling cost. Go forward. Okay, so back up a little bit. So you have this is the cost. Yeah, where did you come up with those startup costs, the workplace and tools?
This is from some of the materials we're gonna need and starting chemicals. Not the, you were thinking about buying a more bulk scale, it would cost us a bit more, but then it would last us a lot longer. So that'd be our startup, just so we can start getting a foothold.
Is that for one? Or how many would you make with that?
This is for multiple, not for just one. This is some of the important materials that you need, such as using granules for polycarbonate.
Okay.
I think she's asking how many dog houses, how many dog washers can you make with that money?
Yeah, yeah.
I believe around, numbers around 20.
Okay. Okay. I would put that somewhere up there because right now it just seems like a random number and I'm not, like, to me it's not clear what that actually entails. I mean, your administrative and legal, I could see that because it's pretty, legal is gonna be like a one fee. Whereas it's not just workplace and tools, you're also talking about materials and supplies, correct? Yes? Like your polycarbonate stuff and your hinges and all of that? Yes? Okay. Okay, and so then go to the next one. Okay, so I'm thinking you just chose the wrong word. So selling cost. So the way I'm reading that is that that's how much it's costing you to sell it?
I'm sorry, that is how much it was sold.
Yes, so I would change that wording. Maybe, that's not even really profit because I don't know how much, do you know how much it's gonna cost to make one?
The one that I won.
Okay, yeah, you have 154 for the medium. Okay, cool. So then go back to so 150, a little bit less.
150, yeah.
Profit, okay. So this would be your price point. That's not necessarily your selling cost. So just make sure you change that. Other than that, great presentation, you guys.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really liked it.
Thank you.
I think the PowerPoint was very clean. I do have a question, I guess, about the placement of the bark washer itself. Like we have laundry rooms where we put our laundry machines in. Where would this machine go?
So it's made out of polycarbonate for the reason is to put outside, like in the backyard, because it lasts like a long time in the sun. So yeah, it's made out of polycarbonate.
Cool, so it's meant to be hooked up outside to like a hose?
Yep.
Perfect, cool.
I have a few questions. You just kind of hit on that one. I didn't know if you could use this inside or outside. So can you use this inside? Like in a washroom or in a mud room?
Or even in the garage?
In a garage, like that wasn't really, it didn't say this is great for outdoor use or this is only for outdoor use, this is for indoor
did?
use.
It's a hose, they say it's where the hose will hook up.
Okay.
Primarily for indoor use. Later on, if this does sell off, there might be an addition where there is inside usage, but that is not on the table at the current moment.
Okay. And I didn't see how it's in that model. Could you go back to the model? For the actual, there you go. Yeah, that's good too. So how does this work? Are there servos? Where does the hose go in?
Nothing electrical.
Is there a stepper motor?
We want it to be based off of water pressure. That box right there on the top, the opening right there, that's where you put the soap in, and there'd be a switch or a valve there to allow you to choose when you want to add soap. And on the side, there's no entrance. It's a hose entrance where you'll be able to plug in your hose and run it through. Through there, you'll be able to control through the valve the pressure of the hose itself, so you can choose the pressure of the water. Below that, there will be a crankshaft and push rod where the water pressure will go through, which will cause the array of pumps and pipes inside there to be able to move left and right on a track system with valves on it so that it can properly wash it up.
Okay. In your presentation, did you say that?
I
Yes.
believe I mentioned it around.
He did.
Okay. I must have been writing. That's where you really want to sell the investor is really highlight what it does. Because right now in that picture, I don't see the pneumatic or any water pressure parts that are showing how it's cleaning the dog. Because right now I just see a a box. So I might have been writing, and I apologize, but it didn't stand out at me when you were displaying that. Because when I look at this, I go, okay, I'm waiting for the next thing to show me. Because when you show me the box, I'm waiting for, okay, this is the box, but let me tell you what's inside of the box that makes it different and what it actually does. Because that's your selling point. You're building everyone up. You're like, okay, I want to see what it does. Then, can you go to the next slide? I still have a box. I don't know how it cleans the dog. You have a system of sprayers that go up and down, right? Left to right. I don't see where the sprayers are. And that's your selling point. Because you watch any infomercial, what do they show? We have a Ronco food dehydrator. Let me show you how it works. You put the food in, it does this, it twirls around, it's rotisserie, whatever it is, air fryer, everything, 3-in-1. They show you everything. That's the selling point. You should be selling at this point. You should say, hey, this is what makes this so amazing. Because right now I'm trying to imagine how this still works. But I thought your presentation was really good. There's other things too. Your bill of material. So when you sell me, this is how much this is going to cost. As an investor, I want to see if those numbers are true. So if you're doing a financial projection or a model, you need to list how much those individual parts cost from an investor standpoint. Because from an investor, I could say, hey, I work for MSC, Fastenal, I can get those parts for a fraction of the price. How about we partner? Right? Because if your parts are high and your cost of goods are high, you might have an investor that's like, hey, I have a connection where I can get your parts for 40% off if you order X amount of parts, right? So showing your bill of material is really important to justify those projections. Does that make sense? Because if you don't, those numbers don't mean anything to me. I don't know where you came up with the numbers. Where did you get your numbers for the 154 for the cost? Did you use Amazon? Did you just use any type of thing you could find on the internet?
No, we had a specific buyer. We went to polycarbonate. I cannot remember their name. But
Okay.
I believe it was $30-ish for a large piece.
Okay, well, that's fine. Just when you're, as long as those numbers show that it comes in, because that's where you should derive your cost of goods. All those things that you build out, you say, hey, this is how much these parts cost, they equal this amount, right? That's what it should equal. So you should show that in your financial model. Because then the investor goes, oh, they're not making up numbers, but I can get that, I can make those COGS half because I might have a connection somewhere in industrial distribution, whatever, who knows, right? So it's always important to be aware of when you're showing numbers, you justify the numbers, right? On the landing page, I thought it was great. I love the images. I love that dog. I really do. I love your logo. I think it's great. I would use the fonts on your landing page to be bigger. People have this Instagram swipe attention span of 5 seconds. They look at your landing page, they can't read it, they're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You need to have bigger font, very concise, very, very direct message to your customers. That landing page is the first impression, right? So it needs to be, how do I buy this? Where am I going? Can you go back to the landing page?
Can I what?
Can you go to the, I thought you had the clicker. Go to the landing page.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
can barely
that's
read
tiny.
that. I know you're giving a presentation, it might look better on like the landing page on your computer, but as of right now, I can't really read it. It could just be that I'm far away and I have bad eyesight, I am getting old. But you want to highlight, the font needs to be bigger, that's it. And then time to shine, is that where I click?
Yeah. That'll be the call to action.
Call the action,
Make it a
okay.
different color or something. Make it look like a button.
It doesn't look like a button. You need to either have an outside, outer, like kind of frame,
Outline.
or like click here, or like have an arrow.
Like click to shine.
Click to
Yeah.
shine,
Would work.
and then you have like an arrow saying click, click here to get, click to shine, something, because it blends in with everything. It doesn't stand out to click.
And while we're here, you could make the list of benefits, those 3 bullet points, you could make them to their own standalone, statements on the page just to make it more filled out and while making it less busy.
Yeah.
And that could probably help you guys with making this landing page look the way it should be.
I thought you did a great job. Honestly, it's really good. I just need to know, because I happen to be your mentor. I'm not trying to be biased, but I think it's a great idea. As a mentor and as a judge, I think you can really sell this if you show what it actually does in a simulation. Even though you're trying to get the money to build the prototype, you can simulate a dog walking in and just have like what it does and simulate what it does.
Yeah.
So the potential buyer or investor says, if you can do this, I'm interested. How can I help? Or what kind of capital do you need? Or hey, I'm a potential customer. You want to make 10 of these? I'll be your test subject. I'll give you $300. Sure, it sounds cool. That's all you really. That's your selling point right here, is showing how it works.
And I don't think
that
that would be too insane of an animation to make. It could literally be a disembodied, non-animated dog just entering it.
It
the
could
door's
be your
closing.
dog. I love the logo.
Yeah.
You can just have that dog walking in there.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. I would love it, because you have a great looking dog on there. It's just cute. It's a cute dog. So, any other questions for me? Okay, that's all I have. That's great. Thank you.
You're gonna.
No.
All right, so I agree. I think go back to definition of success. I think you're hitting it really good with branding. Go to the slide before this one. So you have the landing page. The landing page, when someone clicks time to shine, it takes them to the Cognito form. You talked about the definition of success, but you have no definition of success content on this slide. The definition of success slide should come after this. This one should say, order form or something like that, because it's landing page, order form, then definition of success. Because I know the definition of success for you is if people fill this out, but then you gave some other stats. So those other stats should all be included on the definition of success page on its own. You know what I mean? You should break down some of the stats. That's out of place. This should be, order form. This could also give you an opportunity to talk about this being the smoke test order form. That way it would take away the confusion from people who don't know that you're not really ready to place real orders, and you could talk more about the smoke test. So I think definition of success should be its own thing, because you guys talked about it but didn't show any stats for it. I've already talked to you about how to fix the landing page so it doesn't look the way it looks. So I know you guys just need to get there, because you got other opinions, So that was really good to hear other people give you the same feedback I gave you already. Let's see. Go back to the timeline. I was really good that you guys added a timeline. There was another team that it made sense to me if they would have had a timeline for us to be able to see the process. But I think you need to add more data to this timeline. You spoke to some points that aren't actually on your timeline. So some of the talking points that you spoke of, the data that you gave should be on the timeline itself. But I'm glad that you actually have one. So that's really, really good. A lot of teams should include a timeline in their presentation. I don't think your prices are correct at all. I want to say do more research into it, but I know you don't know yet. Go to your manufacturing prices. I guess everyone's already spoke to it, but I think I agree with everyone. It seems like the prices, you did a little bit of research, maybe just on one part, like how much is it going to cost for the raw polycarbonate, but not for screws, bolts, nuts, glass. I personally think, just like in your 3D rendering, the front side is clear. I know you're not going to actually do that, but I think one side should be clear, so you can see if the water is actually working. If you close the dog up
Visual
in there,
confirmation,
you won't even know if what if there's a bee clogging one of the hoses and you don't know. You think your dog's getting washed, but you can't tell.
They come out dry.
Your dog comes out dry, man. So you want to make sure. I personally think, and I don't know if you know all the real costs that go into it. And you probably won't know until later, so I think it's okay in your presentation to mention that this is what your research has discovered the costs are now, but those costs may go up, and that your prices may change over time. If you don't know the answer, it's okay to say, we're not sure yet, we're gonna look into that. If you don't know something, don't try to answer it like you do know. If you don't know, you don't know, and you need to research it more.
And own that.
And own it, just like
Yeah.
he's saying. I think most of you could project your voices a little bit more. The first and second judge may not have heard you, I think, because you said some stuff, but they didn't hear you. You're closer to us. I heard you, but they didn't. So make sure you're projecting a little bit more. You know, your smooth voice just needs to be a little bit louder. You know what I mean? But it's a good voice. I like how you guys present yourselves. You're not fidgety. I like how you answer the questions. It does seem like you understand the solution in and out. I think you guys, I need to help you with this. We even got a brand new 3D printer. You have a 3D rendered file. You should print it out. You should have a little bark washer that you should be able to put in front of each judge so they can see it. There's no reason you shouldn't be 3D printing it. We have a 3D printer at Quick Labs. There's a couple 3D printers here. Not too many people in this whole school have ever gone through the trouble of actually prototyping like you have. Print it, even if it's just a small version, so the judges can hold it in their hand and open it, take the top off and look inside. 3D print it, okay? You should do that before the school year is over. 3D print it. That's my advice for you.
I think that that's solid. I will say that you guys having a 3D object alone already to show, even though it doesn't have the details, it is helpful for us to have a better understanding of what it is, right? But I do think that some more work needs to be done to show the functionality of it, but actually having an object to where we can, oh yeah, I can see it, like if it was bigger, a dog can come in here, head out this end. I think that actually having a physical thing would really set you guys apart.
You really could. Then you could go to Michael's or Joann's Fabric. They have those little horses and cats, and you just get some toy dogs, and you can you can hand that to each judge. You would it would make an impact that no other team would make at this school, because you've prototyped something that they can hold. You know what I mean? Take advantage of it. There's like 40 3D printers on this campus. I think you should probably have one more shot in your render where you zoom in on the part where the hoses stuff go in. Just zoom in on it. But if you're handing it out, that would be even better. A smaller version probably wouldn't show all the details, but at least they can wrap their brains around it. The branding, all of that stuff is really good, and I agree with pretty much everything else that the judges said. I don't have more questions because they all talked about some of the stuff that I had as well. Great job, guys.
Yep.
I have one more thing.
Me too, as
One-
well.
One quickie though. If you can go to the smoke screen slide, or the smoke test slide. Yeah, right there. So small, medium, and large.
Oh, I gotta add one.
We don't know what that means.
Dog
What size is the crate? What size is the dog? And what dimensions do those have? And you guys can really flex your dog knowledge by showing off, small is great for a Chihuahua or a Terrier, or I don't really know dog breeds. But you can show off that you guys know that by having, suggested dog breeds and different sizes for them, just to give you more credibility, and your customers, your potential customers, have a better understanding of what it is that they're signing up for.
Yeah, what size dog
Yeah.
is it?
Is large like a shed? Like, do I get like a shed in the back? Like, that'd be kind of cool. But I don't know how big that is, right?
So some dimensions would help. I'm
Dimensions
sorry.
would very help.
There is one more. Go back to the prices of the bark washer slide. I almost forgot. I'm glad you brought that up. Right there. Something's wrong with that font. So your small, medium, large is overlapping with the dollar sign. So space that out.
Large.
And then you have will settle around. So I think you
Settle is an odd
That's not a good
word
word.
choice.
I think you meant sell around, right? This will sell around approximately. So fix that font up because the dollar sign is overlapping with the last letter. And then Ms. Rodriguez even talked to you about kind of
45.
Wait, what? $20, 20 to 45 per use?
Per use.
Okay.
Yeah, so you actually take your dog to
Yeah,
them,
yeah, you
right?
take it.
Okay,
Right.
so
So-
that needs to be
Yeah.
very clear, because I thought these were direct competitors, like, meaning they have a similar box like yours, like, I don't know what they do. You have to explain what your competitors do, because if you could say, hey, you can own your own for $300, as little as $300 versus paying $50 every time you go in, it pays for itself after how many times? 6 times? Right? Right. So our unit pays for itself after 6 times of washing your dog, and it's easy. Right? It pays for itself. That'd be a selling point. That's a competitive analysis. You said $7,000? $7,000? That's mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
That's where you can sell. That's where you go into your pitch. Like, that's where you keep topping whatever you're attracting your investor, your customer. You keep saying, like, wow, there is a marketplace for you for this. That's what you're doing. You're just selling, and always be confident. Always be confident. Say, this is better. This is why it's better, and this is how we're going to enter the market, because we know we're better. We're cost saving, and it does the same exact thing, and you can have your own in your house. You don't have to travel. Man, you have my attention, right?
Yeah,
So good job, though.
Yeah, I
Good
think
job.
your prices
Yeah.
are
Good job, guys.